What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron, and today we're doing a nice little Dynasty startup video. Hair's a little bit crazy today. I've been wearing the hoodie up. How are we doing? If you're in here, say what's up. Tell me if the stream's sound is good. Is it laggy? Are we looking clean? What's up? What's up? How are we doing, everybody? Let me know. But I'm going to get cooking on the sleeper link in a second. I'll drop the sleeper link in chat. I think I'm going to throw up the live stream link in the Discord real quick. And we'll get kind of cooking here. You said, yo, where's the link? I haven't even made the draft yet. Hold on, fellas. The link is coming momentarily. What's going on? Posting link to Discord. I'll probably post a link in here first and then drop it in the Discord if we need. Yo, what's going on, Brandon? What's going on? Iglet, what's up, brother? Give me a roll call. How are we doing? What's up, brother? Yes, sir. Nathan, what's going on? All right, so we'll do a mock draft. We'll do what? 12 rounds. We'll do a nice little 12-round startup. I like the sound of that. If you guys are down. We'll go. I'll put myself in here just so you guys can see what I'm doing, I guess. Noti gang, yes sir. Scuba, I love you for that, bro. Real one's got the notifications on. Logan, what's going on? Said how long? Just gonna take probably an hour. So if you don't have an hour and you can't make the picks, just watch along until you can't, brother. All right, so Snake, Superflex tight end premium, 12 teams, 60-second clock, third round reversal, fine. Okay, so these are all the settings we had last time. That should be good. All right, so I'll put myself at 6. We'll randomize the order to start. Let me get the link going. Copy invite link. All right, here's it going. Here it goes. Join the draft here. Boom. All right, now let me get myself situated in here. I'll put myself. How have I been doing this recently? Have I been putting myself here and then these like kind of, and then this like here? I can't remember. Does anybody know how I've been doing this lately? 90% zoomed in. Does it look good? Could we be more zoomed in? Let me know if you guys are like struggling to see anything. Let's make sure we get all 12 teams. That looks good. I think that looks good. Hey, Boots is in here. What's going on, brother? Might have to dominate you guys again after what happened last time we did one of these. Boots was in here. Boots saw the God Squad. You said let's go then. What'd you say, Ron? Just found you on YouTube this week. Love the video so far. Appreciate you, brother. I love that you love the channel, man. You said so glad I found your channel, bro. Appreciate that, man. I'm getting some new viewers this week. I think that hype is really sort of gaining some momentum with the draft coming up here. I think I gotta let me make me a little bit bigger. Put myself here. Put this there. What are these Discord notifications I got? All right, we're full. Okay, I didn't even need to put this in the sleeper chat. You said simply refuse to let that happen. Here's the thing though. Do you guys want to see my roster, or should I just put my face in here? Like I feel like you can just follow my picks, right? So I could just like do Q and then put my head in here, and that could kind of work. I'll start it in a second. I'm being an idiot, but put my face here. Put these here. I think that looks kind of clean. What are we saying? What are we saying? All right. I think that looks good. If you guys have any problems, I'll just change it on the fly. But let's do a little randomize the draft order. Boom. And I'm second. I feel like I was second last time. I can't remember, though. All right, we'll start. We'll start up. I would like to. Jesus, that was whack. I don't know if you guys heard that. All right, second pick, Mahomes very easily. Wow, so me and Boots are back to back here. Me and Boots are back to back. I wanted to get the Adiko's ADP on my other screen. I hope that this doesn't screw anything up. Oh, of course you guys saw that. That's hilarious. No, Brock. You hate to see that. Let me pull this up on Google Drive real quick. Dude, I've been talking with one of my co-managers for a startup I'm doing in a little bit. And we were talking about like up here, right? These quarterbacks you can get up here, Burrow, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Herbert, Mahomes, Allen. I think, what's his name? Scott Connor or Charles Chill FFB, the guy who does the Dynasty and Chill podcast, one of the sharpest dudes in the space in terms of strategy. It seems like something that's kind of picking up some steam from the sharper guys is, let's say you're at the 107 and you can get like Burrow, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. I might make a video on this eventually, but it makes a lot of sense. If you can get, let's say you can get like Kyler here. I'll actually wait for these picks to happen so I can kind of use a little bit better of a what am I trying to say? A little bit better of a real example in a second. So Taylor goes. I actually just traded for Jonathan Taylor yesterday. Let me make my head a little bit smaller. I feel like maybe it's a little bit too big. So we can get this a little bit lower. That looks good. All right, so let me check this out. All right, we look good. All right, so yeah, so like Kyler Murray goes 107 here. Let's say you go Kyler Murray at 107. But you can trade, you can trade up. So let's say Kyler Murray, you can give up your 206, your 306, and probably get to Boots' spot here for Herbert or here for like Lamar. You can give up your 2 and 3, and you can get like the 104 and like the 804. And that's a little bit steep, but that seems like these days the cheapest way to acquire one of these elite quarterbacks. Like if you go into any of your leagues and you try and send out an offer for Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson or Burrow or Herbert without an elite quarterback on your side, a lot of the times that's getting insta-denied. Like I was throwing around DJ Moore and 2 firsts in a lot of leagues for Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, or 1 league for Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, and that wasn't even enough to start a conversation. Again, I mean, DJ Moore is probably worth like the 101, 102 at this point, and then you also have 2 mid-firsts that you're offering up. Can't even start the conversation. You need to start the conversation with like Trey Lance or Trevor Lawrence or whatever. But if you can get that off the bat in a startup where, let's say you go Kyler Murray, you trade up to 103 and you get Justin Herbert there. You don't have your 2 and your 3, which sucks, but that's a tier of players that isn't crucial. There's not a super big consensus. You can kind of sleep on that a little bit. But getting those 2 quarterbacks, especially because say you get Herbert and Kyler Murray, you're getting a start there in terms of wins above replacement. You're getting the same like advantage of having like a Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey as your 2 running backs. But Mahomes or Herbert and Kyler Murray are going to hold their value as quarterbacks because they have such a long, career arc. They're going to hold their value for so much longer that it's such a good way to sustain year over year, like wins above replacement and dominance. Then you can kind of just build out your other positions from there. Now, I know I've done a lot of rambling and kind of ignored the chat and ignored the draft so far, but just kind of wanted to talk about that for a second. You said, I want JT in a Dynasty league so bad, but the price is too high. I just want him so I can cheer for him IRL. Yeah, the first time I ever got him in a Dynasty league was last night. You said he was a staple of almost all my redraft teams last year, though, so I can't complain. Yeah, I had him on a ton of my redraft teams. I had him, I think you remember, I had him like above Ezekiel Elliott and Derrick Henry last year, and that was like a hot take that I got flamed for. All right, so let me check out what we got left on the board here. So Debo does go at 206, which is kind of crazy. All right, so we're on the board now. We got a minute. Trying to see what's up here. Man, I don't even know what direction I'm going here. Swift is gone. McCaffrey's gone. Russell Wilson is gone. Andrews is gone. Man, I hate the pick I'm about to make here. I think there's only one thing I can do here. I have a couple of ideas on my mind, but I think that Breece Hall probably makes the most sense there. I don't love that at all. You guys took a lot of value there. I think the other guys I had on my mind were Metcalf, CeeDee Lamb. Even though I don't like CeeDee Lamb, I wouldn't mind taking him at the 211 in a startup and then just trading him later on. CeeDee Lamb, Breece Hall. I was thinking about like Stafford or Trevor Lawrence, but that's a little bit too high for me. I think Waddle or Metcalf could be had there. T. Higgins isn't bad, but that's a rough spot. You said, Nate, my thing with JT is if you take him, then you'll have to take him over QBs I'd rather have over him. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't want to take him until the top 7 quarterbacks are gone. But you can get him for that price in some places. You said was looking at Breece at 303. Okay, I kind of like to hear that. I was going to say, too, I love Zach Monty's start as well. Kyle Pitts and Trey Lance is like a very attainable start these days. I think any 3 on this back end, if you can get any 3 of Trey Lance, Kyle Pitts, or any 2 of Deshaun Watson, Kyle Pitts, Trey Lance, that's a really nice start. Also, this is essentially going to be like just a Dynasty Q&A where we mess around and do this draft. So if you guys have any trade questions, any Dynasty questions in general, I'm down to answer whatever. Yeah, you said Pitts and Lance is your ideal start. Yeah, I love Pitts and Lance at the turn. You said 101 or 104 and 110. I take 110 all day there. So CeeDee Lamb goes in the early 3rd. Wow. Yeah, that's the right pick there. Zach Monty's team is kicking all of our asses right now, I got to be honest. Boots' team looks good too, though. Actually, I think everybody's kind of got a stud team. I will say it's through 2 rounds, so. If Breece isn't there, in a real life startup draft, and like I'm genuinely on the clock, it's in real life, I take CeeDee Lamb there and just trade him later. Especially if Danny's in my draft from the stock exchange. I'd probably take CeeDee. So we got Metcalf go out. Big run of wide receivers right now. Rightfully so. This is a classic Ron Stewart mock. Let me say that much. Trying to scroll down on ADP where players are actually still available. Jeez. Dude, having to pick at the end of a 3rd round reversal is brutal. It's brutal. It's really tough to get that second quarterback without trading up. I think it also makes sense, too, like what I was saying earlier about trading up to get 2 of those elite quarterbacks. If you can go Mahomes, trade up to 107 and get Kyler Murray as well, I love that. Like, I have no issue giving Breece Hall the 311 for Kyler Murray and like an 8th round startup pick. I would do that all day. Because if after the draft I hit him up with Breece Hall in my 311 and tried to trade that straight up for Kyler Murray, probably isn't even starting a conversation. What do I make of all the Kenneth Walker hype? I don't love him. He's still probably in my probably still like my 106, 107. I just think it's really tough, man. You're betting on an outlier, 211 pounds. Didn't show us he can catch the football. I'm not saying he can't be good, just saying in terms of probability. It's tough for him to have a path to be a like top 5 running back ever. I think he's good at football. I think he's a very good pure rusher. He got the yards created boost in my model. He's a gold. He's great. But to say that he can hold the candle to Breece Hall, I think is wrong. To have him 102, 103, I think is wrong as well. I know Graham Barfield is really high on him. And I think he's probably even, I think this is a super cliche take as well, which I hate. But I think he is one of those guys that's probably better in real life than he is for fantasy. You just need some receiving upside. Even if he does like outdo his expectation in terms of receiving, you're looking at still not a ton. Maybe 50 receptions in a season is his ceiling. All right, so Stafford is gone. Trevor Lawrence is gone. Okay, so this is a scary spot that I'm in right now. Devontae Adams on the board. Huh. So it looks like I'm looking at Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Derrick Henry. Malik Willis would be really fun. Malik Willis would be very fun. Hate waiting that long on wide receiver, though. I'm going to go Deontay Johnson, actually. Or DJ Moore here as well. Let's go DJ Moore. Fine. Man, I hate that I pretty much told you guys everything that was on my mind there. Okay, so Deontay goes. Great. That was dumb. I forgot that this was at the turn. So Jelly Bean now has 2 picks that he has to make while I'm here. And I pretty much told him everything that I have currently on my mind in terms of what I'm going to pick here. All right, so I talked about Kenneth Walker. You said rebuilding team 103, 106, 109, 112, 3 seconds this year and 2 firsts, hoping to tank for next year too. You said I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's exactly what the ADP is right now for 101 in startups. Yeah, like the end of the second. That sounds about right. Jellybean is really taking his time here. Dobbins. I'm actually very glad I took DJ Moore there. I think that Jellybean would have doubled up DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson. So now I'm thinking about Malik Willis, and I'm thinking about Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams. I love Malik Willis, but taking him here before the NFL draft is a bit of a risk. If he falls to like 20, then you've really screwed up there. He does go pretty much in the same range as Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill, though, in startups. Let's go Malik Willis. Let's do it. Let's get the 101 and the 102 in this draft. Iglet, you said a long explanation. 10 team superflex. I was at the 103 in a startup, and the 104 offered me a 23 first to swap. I took that and then used the first to move up to take Deshaun at 109. I love that. That's perfect. You said I love doing the elite top QB and Cousins build. Yeah, I have a lot that are like that, but instead of Cousins, it's like Aaron Rodgers. But I like that too. You said Barfield cares mostly about yards created and Walker ranked elite at it. No, he was very good. He was in like the 91st percentile. I use yards created in my model, so he gets the bump, but he's too limited of a pass catcher for me to like give him anything more than that. Because like Javonte Williams got the bump from yards created last year, but he could catch the ball, and he was also big. Like he's undersized, and I'm not gonna say he can't catch because like the film guys and all that get super mad when people say he can't catch, but it's not that he can't catch. He didn't show us he could catch, so it's very tough to assume that he will. You said this 3-4 turn sucks, man. It's like 8 guys all bunched in the same tier, and I can't decide. Yeah, it's not great. But again, like if you go to Kyler Murray owner after the draft and you offer DJ Moore and Malik Willis, 0 shot that goes through. Would you trade Eckler for Judy in a 2024 mid-first and 2? If this is Eckler for Judy and 2 mid-first, take that all day. Boots, you said he's a fantastic rusher, but a clear tier break after Hall. I have him about 106. He's fine. Not a guy I want to hold long, but I don't mind the immediate production he probably provides. Exactly. And on top of that, I'll give a little bit of a pro towards Kenneth Walker. He's young. He's 21 years old. So any running back in the top 24 right now, the landscape is so ugly that any running back that's like 21 years old is going to hold value for at least a year. So he's not the worst investment in the world, but I think like being super aggressive in rookie drafts for him at like the 103 and just like passing up on clear stud first round wide receivers, especially if Kenneth Walker falls to like the 3rd round or something, I think it's a mistake. You can think that he's the best running back prospect you've ever seen in terms of running between the tackles, but when you play in PPR leagues where they value pass catching, I think it's a mistake to have him as your RB1 for fantasy purposes. When you get through these more general questions, I was hoping you'd be able to talk about Dynasty best ball strategy. Primarily what you would... Is this Tushy Pushy? AJ, let me know if you're Tushy Pushy. But you said I was hoping you would be able to talk about Dynasty best ball strategy, primarily what you would do different in a best ball compared to managed, if anything. It's really just about it's so much about roster construction where the biggest thing is, I mean, we preach this a lot with just like normal leagues, but it's just not paying up for those RB2s. You either want, like, in best ball on like Underdog and stuff, of course, promo code Ron, check out Underdog. But on there, the idea is that you either want running backs early or often. I think that is pretty much what you want to kind of go by in Dynasty, where you can either stack up running backs early, 1, 2, or 3, and then from there you can cut it off until the end, or you can just take running backs often later on, where you go wait till like the 8th round and stack up, A.J. Dillon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, stuff like that, and just kind of build that room out. But the idea is that while people are kind of paying to know who their RB2 every week is, especially in a best ball, if you can just have the rotation of those like 10th round guys of Clyde Edwards-Helaire and churn out next year's Khalil Herberts to get bumped in there, that's huge as well. And then also, when you don't have to predict weekly scoring for wide receivers in full PPR, they're going to give you some massive spike weeks. So if you can really be very strong at wide receiver, that's massive. But I think largely it's similar just because it's similar for me or people that watch this channel, just because I kind of carry the zero RB and the best ball type strategies and theory into Dynasty regardless. So most of what I'm preaching all the time applies to both. But you just want to be really cognizant, again, of like not having those roster clogging wide receivers, having a lot of running backs on your team, not being too thin, like only rolling with like 2 quarterbacks when like maybe you should maybe have like 3 or 4 that can fill points every week. I'm trying to think of what else. Boots might be able to speak on it too. Boots is a big best ball player as well. I imagine he's a couple of Dynasty best ball leagues. I'm trying to think of like what is like very clear in terms of that, but I think it starts with the RB2 thing. But again, that's how I just play Dynasty in general. You said, to be frank, Monty posted an RB14 season when he had 50 receptions, Jacobs 50 receptions last year. But those aren't names you like to hear when talking about a prospect. Exactly. You don't want to take... I think that David Montgomery and Josh Jacobs are actually like fine, like median outcome comps for Kenneth Walker, which is why I think that he's fine at the 106, 107. But to take a guy like that at the 102, I think is a little bit tough. You said, I appreciated the vid you sent me too, by the way. That vid seemed to be more applicable for tournament play, though, so I'm not sure it's one-to-one strategy. Here's the thing. I actually attack most of the best ball contests I play from a tournament view. I even attack just like 12-man leagues from a tournament perspective, because you still have to win a league. It's like an 8.65% chance. You're still gunning for like a 93rd percentile outcome, which is a lot of upside. So you still want to build your teams in that way, if that makes sense, where you just want to shoot for upside, try and get that best case scenario, kind of build a team where it's a little bit fragile in best ball, where you're kind of built so that, you only have like 1, 2, maybe 3 top end running backs, and because like the whole idea is like, let's say those running backs get hurt, you're screwed anyways. So you kind of want to get a little bit more thin in terms of like depth, and just care more about high end wide receivers and not rostering too many RB2s, I think. You said, would be dope to see some Ron non-Superflex Dynasty content. I did a 1 quarterback rookie draft the other day, and nobody saw it. All right, so now we're on the clock, and I haven't even been checking my list of players available. So now we're screwed a little bit. We got 45 seconds to make something happen. 45 seconds in a dream, fellas. Burks is gone. London is gone. Is Garrett Wilson gone? No, that's interesting. Let's take Garrett Wilson. I'm not even sure really what's on the board. We take Garrett Wilson. What else is really available? I can't say it out loud because I'll get sniped at the turn. I got some ideas. Of course, you sickos already took Zach Wilson. I'm looking. Really not a ton that I like on the board. Aaron Rodgers went, yes. Akers being available is interesting at the 602, but I'm not sure I'm super interested. Same thing with Kamara is kind of interesting here too. Kamara does get interesting. There's one other wide receiver I'm interested in this range though. So Debo as the third wide receiver, a standard thing? Not really, but I think I have him as like wide receiver 4. You said K-Walk will be my 106 unless he goes to the Bills. Yeah, I'm with you. When you don't have the receiving upside, I need to see crazy touchdown upside that the Bills could potentially provide. Even then, betting on touchdowns is tough. Kyle Quad 4. I have the 101 with Swift, Eckler, Gibson at running back, Chase Lamb. Try to move one of the other backs. Yeah, I don't hate that. McLaurin goes. God damn it, that's who I wanted. So McLaurin goes. Next best wide receiver. You screwed me. Man, I could take Amon-Ra St. Brown. Could take Judy, but I think that would just be very disrespectful to Kamara at this point. Right, am I an idiot? Is Kamara on the board still? Yeah, he is. I hate it, but I think I have to go Kamara here. Get a little difference making production from running back. I hate taking running backs in this range, but in the 6th round, and you get Alvin Kamara, who has like a pretty crazy upside like ceiling. It's not bad. So I have a very win now team. Would you sell players now for 23 picks or try to contend for a few years? Try to contend, man. I don't think when you have Mahomes, there's no reason. When you have Mahomes and Brady, there's no reason to strip anything down. Kupp, Adams, Diggs as well, man. Go out there and win. He said, I asked because I'm a bit worried about one of my RBs where my RB wide receiver ratio is close to 1-1. Might even be running back heavy, but my running back are all values at cost right now. Still would move running backs for wide receivers in that case. It really just depends on how many you don't need to have a ton of wide receivers. Like my Dynasty best ball team I think had like 7 or 8 wide receivers. Like it's not really about having a ton, it's just about having a lot of like really good ones. I would say if there are like 3 wide receiver spots, 3 flex spots, ideally you want to have like 8 top 50 wide receivers. I think that's a decent way to start. You said Kamara could still be a top 3 running back. It's great value at this point. Yeah, I agree. Said Ron, when do we get an NFL mock draft 2.0? That's actually going to come out next week on the day of the NFL draft. Which I don't know is a super smart idea because last time I dropped one on the day of the NFL draft and nobody really cared since it was already kind of draft day. So maybe I'll drop it earlier on in the week. I don't know. But we'll talk some draft props, all that stuff. My bad. I'm kind of jumping around the chat right now, fellas. You said Smitty in the 106 for Claypool. Smitty in the 106 or Claypool in the 102. Man, that's close. That is close. Oh, it's one quarterback, though? In one quarterback, it's Smitty very easily. In Superflex, that gets close, though. Yeah, this is 1,000% a Ron Stewart drafter him, the way that this is falling. Yeah, then we have Amon-Ra St. Brown go already. Would have loved to grab him. But I can't justify taking Amon-Ra St. Brown over Alvin Kamara. I just can't. That's where we start getting a little bit silly. I also don't understand, guys. I know that I don't mean to trash anybody, but we'll throw. I know Overzet sauces up these teams. I don't understand the mindset from a lot of dynasty managers. I know I saw it in the draft I did with the stock exchange boys. I think Bush took. No, I might be speaking out of turn here. I don't want to be an idiot, but I've seen taking Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery ahead of Alvin Kamara makes 0 sense to me. Unless if you're scared about an Alvin Kamara suspension, then fine. But just the thesis of taking a Josh Jacobs or David Montgomery, who's never going to give you anything more than RB2 production, taking either of those guys over, guys with top 5 running back ceilings and Kamara, Saquon, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, whatever you want to say. I can't get there. Even though that they're younger, they're still in their rookie deals and stuff, neither of them have displayed the type of ceiling that Kamara has. I just think that Kamara, in the 5th round, I just don't think it's worth taking Jacobs over him just for the sake of like being young and holding value. Like Josh Jacobs might hold more trade value, but I don't think that it really matters a ton. Again, jumping around here. Let me see anything else I sort of missed. Boot, you said you're honestly very new to Dynasty Best Ball. More of a Best Ball player than a Dynasty player. That's fair. That's fair. Why do people love Gibson but play Walker? Antonio Gibson? Antonio Gibson played wide receiver in college. Like they couldn't be more different. And he's bigger. He's way bigger. With Antonio Gibson, he can catch the ball. We've seen him catch the ball in college. The hope is that will transfer to the NFL. It's actually pretty funny because it hasn't transferred to the NFL. So the idea of like Kenneth Walker never catching a ball in college like consistently and then being able to do it at a high level in NFL is like even more silly than hoping that Antonio Gibson can do that, in my eyes. So Fournette goes. Chubb is gone. Let me look. Let me take a little look-see here. What's available? We're getting to wow, Darren Waller at the 702 in a tight end premium league is actually kind of crazy. So Kirk goes. God damn it. Judy goes. Oh, I got some ideas. Oh, I got an idea. Though I think Boots probably takes this guy from me. All right, let's see. You said Gibson was a low RB1 last year with the fractured shin. Yeah, exactly. And that was with, like, we're still waiting on the receiving production, and that's kind of the tough part. It's hard to say that going into year 3, now he'll get it. It was much more likely in year 2. But, I mean, he is a freak athlete. Now has, like, two decent finishes. Maybe 2 RB1 finishes. Maybe, like, an RB2 and an RB1 finish. But he's not bad. Not bad. He had the upside case is pretty clear. Athletic. Played wide receiver in college. Hope that he gets the pass catching. The minute that they decide to let him get like a 70+ reception season, like he's a top 5 running back very easily. Like he's one of those guys you don't have to squint to get the upside case for. Said call it between drafting for value and to build the teams into mock. You said I think Walker's upside is someone like a Nick Chubb because of his lack of receiving upside. Exactly. I think Nick Chubb is probably his ceiling. God damn it. Whoever got autoed there, I hate you. I wanted Jameson Williams, but I imagine Boots was going to take him anyways. So Fournette is gone. There's still some interesting options up there. I got one guy on my mind that I hope that Boots glosses over. I got two guys I'm thinking of. Said I have Hollywood in that same tier as Pittman, Smith, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and more. I don't have Devonta Smith and Elijah Moore in that same. God damn it, Boots. I wanted Keenan Allen. Now we're looking at a tough. Now we're looking at some tough scenes here. I got Marquise Brown's gone. I got some ideas though. Let's go Michael Thomas. That's fun. I'll take Michael Thomas there all day. You said, Nathan, you said you traded Carlos Hyde for a 3rd and that turned into Antonio Gibson. That's fun. You said, when do you think the legendary upside age fall off for a running back is? From what I looked at, it is 26, but that would exclude the 2017 guys. I think 26 is too early. I plan on doing a video on it eventually, but Adam Harstad, one of like the OGs of fantasy football in general, he had a really cool Twitter thread on it and a really cool article in Football Guys that I really recommend. And it's that age cliffs are wrong. Is it that? Is it age cliffs are wrong and it's like age curves? It's something among those lines, but pretty much players that are old, it's not, or I think that it is age cliffs versus like age like slopes, where once a player hits a certain age, they become more likely to fall off, but it isn't like this gradual decline. It's a very steep, just like fall off. So Kamara, all these guys produced last year. We should expect them to produce again at a similar rate, but with each year that goes on, they have a higher chance of just being completely dead. Kind of like Julio Jones last year, where a player can just be dead, and then from there, they're probably done forever. But until you see them just be awful or not produce anymore, it's probably wrong to assume that that will happen. It's just now that is a risk that's baked in. That's the discount you're getting in the 6th round, but I'm not going to assume that Kamara is going to like, I don't think that Kamara or McCaffrey or any of these guys are going to have like this like slow decline where they go from like 20 points per game to like 17 points per game to like 15 points per game. It's going to be a steep fall off, and when it happens, we'll know. But for now, you can just assume they'll be around their baseline production with the chance that they just die out completely. That's pretty much what it is. I'm going to do a video on it eventually. I know that sounded pretty wonky. I got a couple ideas here. Who's my tight end? Do I have one? I'm going to go Goddard. In tight end premium, let's go Goddard. Why not? You said I'd have Hollywood over all those guys, to be honest. You'd have Hollywood over Elijah Moore and Devonta Smith, brother? No shot. You said, nah, J-Mo won't ever command the high target share. How do you know that? That's a little bit 180-pound deep threat who runs 3 routes. Here's the thing, guys, man. I was going to say guys, but man, I don't care a ton about how good a guy is at route running coming into the league. Route running is a skill that you learn. DJ Moore was a super raw route runner coming into the league. I believe Devontae Adams wasn't even a good route runner coming into the league. It's something you learn. Like, I just want a guy that is special with the ball in his hands, can create separation. In terms of like route running and being sick at route running, I mean, it's cool to be like Riley Ridley and, you know, some of the best route runners coming out of school, Amari Cooper, Riley Ridley. I'm trying to think of like the other ones, Jerry Jeudy. Doesn't always pan out. It doesn't always equal like fantasy production. I care much more about just producing, being a playmaker with the ball in your hands, being undeniable, being talented. These are guys who are 21 years old coming into the league, especially Jamison Williams. He's 21. He can develop his route tree. Antonio Brown didn't just come into the league and like do every route possible and was like super clean at it. It's a skill that you kind of develop. You learn from the veterans, the coaches in the locker room. So for me personally, I don't care a ton. I care more about winning routes and getting separation, but I don't care a ton about if a wide receiver can run like a full route tree on day one in the league. Maybe that's a bad take, but that's just how I feel. You said I picked 9 and 10. Lamar, Burrow, Mills at quarterback, Eckler. Not sure what to target Superflex league. Probably whatever wide receivers are in that range, like a Pickens, Sky Moore, whatever. You said I'm agonizing over here because I know ADPs, but I also know it doesn't matter in here. LOL. Yeah. This is a disgusting room for wide receivers. Though the Ezekiel Elliott over Fournette, Elijah Mitchell, like a little bit of the running back run there was kind of unexpected. Think about trying to get Hollywood for a 10th startup pick, 10th round startup pick. So this is the first time I've done Dynasty and it's super hard. Yeah, it's definitely a difficult format. So Fournette now has the better contract than Zeke. I believe he does. You said that's fair. Regardless, I think the Brown is the biggest deal so far. Where'd he go? 7.5? Yeah, I agree. I think I have him ranked as like my 6.2. But Kamara was there. You said Bush had a video that it's more like a touches cliff. than an age cliff. That's somewhat fair, though. I think there's signal there. Like we talked about with like Ezekiel Elliott and stuff. But the thing about Ezekiel Elliott is he was already showing signs of decline, which is why I didn't want him. So if you have a ton of mileage and you're showing signs of decline, then I'm not interested to begin with, and that was why Ezekiel Elliott was such an easy fade last year for me. But I'm not sure that would apply to a Kamara who I think has never even reached like 1,000 rushing yards in a season. Same with like I don't think Dalvin Cook has had like a crazy workload. I could be wrong. I didn't see the chart that he mentioned, but I think touches cliff definitely plays into it. But again, it is more like an age cliff instead of like 26 is the peak at running back and then like this like steady decline into 30. It's really just a cliff. And it's not like always bound to happen after age 26. It can extend into a player's 30s. It is just a cliff. Do you think Debo gets traded draft day and to where? Are any thoughts? I think that I don't know. I'd probably give like a 50-50 chance. I hope he goes to the Jets, but it does seem like it could be I don't know. It could be just like they won't trade him and that'll be that. You said Fournette is cuttable next year as well. You said 15 touches is a big red flag. The only older running back not really close to that is Eckler. You said 2012 to 2014 draft classes has misconstrued our perception on running back age cliffs. That's somewhat fair. I gotta find that Adam Harstad thread. Maybe I'll find it right now. I definitely have it bookmarked, but I wanted to make a video, probably like in the next couple months about it. Maybe during redraft season, but it was a very very solid thread about how players. Let me see if I can find it. But Adam Harstad, if you know him on Twitter, he's like one of the best follows ever. He is like a godfather of the space. I'll give him that. I'll give him the respect that he deserves. I'm gonna see if I can find this and put it in the chat. I'm not sure how many of you guys would even check it out. I'm gonna put it in the chat. But I thought it was a really cool thread. All right, there it is. So Debo to the Jets means rip Debo? Come on now. No, sir. No, sir. Come on now. I will be buying Debo if that's the case. All right, so Fant goes. I haven't even looked at my draft board. So that's great. And Brady and Tannehill go, the two guys that I was actually kind of eyeing up here. Oh. 39 seconds. All right. Kind of got a fire under my ass right now. Mooney gone. Tannehill gone. Freiermuth for sure gone. Oh, boy. Let's go Kadarius Toney. I've been really coming around on Kadarius Toney recently, dude. I think there's really not a massive difference between Kadarius Toney and Rashad Bateman at this point. I think I have Kadarius Toney, Rashad Bateman, and Ayuk like back to back in my rankings. I don't know that that's kind of an ugly take, but it's where we're at currently. I have quarterbacks that are interesting on the board. I'm trying to see. In terms of wide receivers, what are even available right now? Nothing. Daniel Jones goes. Bateman is already gone. You guys are murdering me right now. I think we're actually going to Let's go Claypool as well. I probably was kind of being dumb there for taking Claypool over Kadarius Toney, but whatever. I'm with it. I think that's a fun pick. I kind of love the squad so far. You said Ryan Tannehill past 3 seasons in points per game, 14th, 9th. Yeah, I agree. I wanted to. I was hoping that Tannehill would come back to me. I thought about Tannehill here at the 802 with Goddard. But I decided I already had Malik Willis. I can probably wait a little bit more. What do I think of Ayuk if Debo leaves? I think it's going to be kind of funny because I love Ayuk, but I think that there is a chance that if Debo leaves, that Ayuk might get steamed so high up Dynasty boards that he might turn into a sell for me, which would really suck. I think if Debo leaves, I'm not a big vacated targets guy, but I think if Debo leaves, it gives Ayuk a bigger target ceiling. I would probably have him in like the Marquise Brown range. I'd move him up for sure, but I think that the Dynasty community might get carried away. If he starts getting into like wide receiver 15 range, I'm good. If I can trade Ayuk, if Debo leaves and I can trade Ayuk for Burks or Drake London, I would do that probably all day, which sucks to say. It's just like I loved Ayuk's year 1, but you can't just throw year 2 out the window when Debo leaves. Is pretty much what it comes down to. If he was going to be destined to be like a great wide receiver, like a Devontae Adams type, he wouldn't have had the season he had last year. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I'm being too harsh though. But I think it's foolish to project that he could be that guy. Yeah, I've heard that he's not going to training camp, but here's the thing. I almost prefer my wide receivers be like sort of diva-ish, like Antonio Brown, DK Metcalf, Odell Beckham. I kind of like, it's not a great sign, dude, but like I kind of prefer my wide receivers to be knuckleheads. Terrell Owens, Randy Moss mooning the Packers. Like they're all wide receivers are kind of divas. So thoughts on 111 team 0 RB strat? Chase, Russ, Kupp, Godwin, Drake London, Hopkins. I think you could have taken more wide receivers, brother. I think I would have taken a wide receiver here instead of Brady and Tannehill, but I don't hate it. I think that's actually a solid start. It's tough to say. It's tough to say with only 12 rounds. You said unreal value on Claypool there. I ain't even a huge fan. Yeah, after last year, I'm having a tough time with Claypool. I still think that the upside is massive, but it is tough. You said Shanahan leaving would affect Ayuk more. I suppose. You said I was wildly debating Mooney versus Ayuk at 8.3. I can't deny Mooney. Yeah, the 26.7% target share for him is pretty wild. I think that my comps for him for year 3 came out as like, I'm trying to think. What am I trying to say? But his comps come out as like Deontay Johnson was one of them. I can't think of the other ones, but like yeah, exactly. You don't just command 27% of the target share next to Allen Robinson as a deep threat type wide receiver on like a dumpster fire offense, like for no reason. Like I'm definitely into Darnell Mooney's like upside case. I think here at the 8.3, I don't hate it though. I think I would prefer Mooney to Ayuk. I agree, which sucks, man. You're saying Mooney's overrated in Dynasty? I don't think so. I think, dude, he goes like 8.3 as like the wide receiver, like 30 something. I think that's fine value for him in my eyes. I'll pay that all day for him. Just because, like, again, 27% target share next to Allen Robinson. Like, you don't just mess around and command 27% of the targets. Again, targets are earned, not given. We've seen, players in other situations that are in empty wide receiver rooms not do anything. Oh, you said overhated? My bad, dude. My bad. I'm an idiot. You said, I feel like he comped well to Sutton year 1 to 2 in terms of target share and air yard share. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think that those might have been names that came up too. I want to say it was like Deontay. Where did I pull those pictures up? I had a post on Twitter about it. Let me see if I can find it. Mooney. Let me see what his comps were. You could be right. It could have been like there are a lot of guys that fit in that tree of like Gallup, Sutton, Kenny Golladay. I don't know if he's in there. Yeah, you're actually right. You're actually like spot on, Boots. The comps that come up are Kenny Golladay, Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman, Cortland Sutton. The ones that are a little bit iffy though are Mike Thomas and Johnny Knox. But other than that, pretty solid comps. Again, Kenny Golladay, Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman, Cortland Sutton. But all of those guys, Cortland Sutton, Michael Gallup, Kenny Golladay, and Michael Pittman. Did I say Michael Pittman already? I don't know. But those 4 guys are all like in the same family tree of like prospect. Did someone say Mooney over Devonta? Where did that happen? All right. I haven't even been checking what is on the board at this point. None of you guys took Matt Corral. I debated Matt Corral at this last pick here at 10-2. I'll take Matt Corral very easily without even thinking about it. Who else is kind of on the board here? Who's our RB2? Did I take? Oh, Alvin Kamara. That's sweet. Dude, this is another startup where I dominated you guys. I'm sorry, but I did. I think I did. We'll look at my team in a second. I think I dominated you guys again, which sucks. Sucks to be you guys. Who said Devonta over? Who said Devonta over the other guy? And then on the way back, we will take. I'm looking at Jameis. So Ritter went. I'm looking at Jameis. I'm looking at Wentz. I don't really want Wentz though. Let's go Jameis. We'll stack him with Michael Thomas. We'll have an instant guy who can instantly start over Malik Willis and Matt Corral in the QB2 spot. This is a sweet team. Again, you guys let me dominate you. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to find the Devonta take, but I can't find it. But you said, yeah, Mooney over Devonta, I can't get there. Devonta, much better prospect, better year 1. Just better. I think he's just like pretty much like a similar version of him, but like a better player. He just has a completely different other range of outcomes, being a first-round wide receiver with a 22% target share in year 1. So I'm chilling on that. But I respect the conviction. So try to grab value where I saw it, as if it were a real dynasty draft. You said Brother Rob said Mooney over Devonta. You said I need to get better at startups. Although I am way better with orphan teams. That's still a cool skill. Said it's his own take. Can't say I'm seeing this. It was Rob. There's a Brother Rob in here that I can't find, but it's. Oh, I see Rob. Am I close? I think I'm close. Whatever. I'm done looking. But I'm down to kind of peep these teams real quick. Should I take my face out of here? Yeah, am I an idiot? Whoa, look how tiny I can get. Look how tiny that is. I'm all the way up here, boy. All right, so let's go here. We'll take a little peruse through the teams real quick. Or not all of them, maybe just my own, because I really like my own. The squad. Little Mahomes. Willis. I like the quarterback situation. You get Jameis Winston to start. Hopefully Malik Willis or Matt Corral pop off later. 2 running backs at top. Breece Hall, Kamara. Later, these are both guys that are going to be probably like top 12 running backs in redraft ADP. And then I'll just stack up, I would stack up like the no-name wide or running backs on top of that. DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, Michael Thomas, Kadarius Toney, Claypool through my flexes is pretty sweet. Goddard, nice tight end. I love this team. You see, are there any teams I kind of like here? How do Boots do? Akers, Hunt, McCaffrey, Herbert, Hurts. I like Keenan Allen, Herbert, Stack. It's a solid squad. A Wandale, Truther. Can respect it. That was autoed. Any of these guys, how did Zach Monty end up? He killed it through 3. I don't think I take Carr here. I think I would just ride with Rodgers and Trey Lance, and instead of taking Carr, just wait till later. Could have taken Tannehill here at the 903 instead. I know that's kind of like hindsight stuff, but you could have taken Tannehill here, or I would have just waited till later to take like a Jameis, a Trubisky, whatever. But solid. Then you could have waited on Komet too. Don't love Davis and Kirk here, but fine squad. What else we got? What else kind of stands out here? You said unless you do startups only with people you know, doing leagues with randoms fucking sucks. Plus orphans help diversify your portfolio. Yeah, I agree, dude. My dynasty teams I have with like randoms. I mean, I love the Crazy Ambassador series, but I will admit we're gonna have a Crazy Ambassador series video coming out this Sunday. But my God, dude, there are currently 2 orphans in it. The commissioner is struggling to get his shit together. It's insane, dude. It's insane. I've been on the commissioner's ass. Please fill these 2 fucking orphans. Get your shit together. He's claiming that he's getting his shit together and that he's busy because it's like tax season, whatever. He's saying it's going to get filled up. The rookie draft will be at the end of May. Everyone will be paid up by then, whatever. If this wasn't Crazy Ambassador, I gotta be honest with you guys, I would probably just leave the league. But because it's Crazy Ambassador, I'm pretty much doing everything I can to keep everything intact. Because if the league crumbled on Crazy Ambassador, that would literally crush me. So trying my best to keep Crazy Ambassador together, that league together. But yeah, that update will be coming on Sunday. Again, sucks. No, I don't know anybody in there. It's not super active. But yeah. Broggy said, I like your team. It's fairly young, but you can still contend. Yeah, I mess with that just like overall idea as well. He said, how did Jodo do? Is this you, Jodo? Jefferson, Metcalf, Dotson, Renfro. Don't love the wide receiver picks here, but not the end of the world. I don't love Renfro here. Like what you did at quarterback. Hawkinson's nice. Najee Cook. I think that this is too high for Zeke for me personally. Elijah Mitchell, Fournette, I would take over him. Amari Cooper, Jameson Williams. I would take pretty much all of these wide receivers over Zeke as well. I think that's where you kind of ran into problems. But again, like it's hard to say because I know like you might love what's his name and whatever. So teammate is solid. Oh, this is a sweet team. This might be my favorite one I've seen so far. Watson, Dak, cut it off there. Higgins, Burks, Marquise Brown, Sutton, Pickens, Watson. That's a fun team. Chubb, Spiller, Pollard. I like that. That's probably, if I was to do Chubb, it would be like Chubb, Hero, RB. Bro, I'm saying random commissioners who can't get their shit together are the worst. For sure, dude. For sure. It's very annoying. He said, when on the clock, I make more mistakes than I make with orphans. Dude, I'm doing, for the first time ever, I'm going to switch this to here. I'm just going to kind of wrap up with this thought. But I'm doing the first ever, like, co-managed league with a different analyst. Co-managing might be the move, man. Because, like, I'll admit, even when you have, like, 8 hours on the clock, even me, who, like, does this every day and, like, is pretty on top of Dynasty and everything, you still can just be on the clock and just, like, make a dumb move that, like, in hindsight, it's like, man, I wish I didn't do that. If you can just bounce an idea off of another guy who also knows what they're doing, like, you're so much more likely to not make dumb mistakes if you can just bounce an idea off of somebody first before you, like, do something, like, irrational. If that makes sense. So, I mean, like, it's kind of tough, though, because then you kind of have to, like, get an okay to, like, make a trade from another guy. So it does have its drawbacks, but I'm doing my first ever co-managed Dynasty team with Nelly from Twitter, and it's been super smooth, super good. I think we're dominating over there. We haven't gotten to the NFL side of our C2C league yet, but it's pretty cool. said Chubb Hero RB may as well be 0 RB, but expensive. Yeah, I agree, but I mean, like Chubb at like the 608, which is where he got him. Chubb at the 608, 0 RB is probably cost efficient. But all right, fellas, that's gonna do it for us today. Tomorrow we have a pretty cool video coming out where I talk about kind of running back roster strategy, and then also talk about my favorite late round running back targets. So that's gonna be really, really sick. But that's going to do it. I'm trying to think of what else I got on my mind. Crazy Ambassador coming out Sunday. I think I'm going to have a 2023 draft class preview coming out on Saturday, but I'm not sure yet. Don't hold me to that. But we have Crazy Ambassador and the late round rookie running back target. So that's going to do it for us today, fellas. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you go down below, subscribe, leave a like. I love you guys. Thanks for coming in. We had like 50 plus people in here at one point, so that was sick. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.